I have the worst timing.
Are you someone that just doesn't quite get the idea and the concept of time signatures? If you are, well then, welcome to Crafty Music Tips. My name is Crafty. You've come to the right place. I'm going to explain time signatures. Now, maybe you're aware that if you see a piece of sheet music up in the top left corner, you'll see a couple of numbers that might say 4/4 or 3/4 or 6/8, something like that. Now, that's a time signature. So if you're aware of that, well, you're off to a good start. If you're not, well, that's where it's indicated on a piece of sheet music. Now, what I want to do in order to be able to explain to you now what the basics of time signatures are, I want to go into the Crafty Guitar Club. I'm going to go inside the membership where I'm giving a live demonstration, a live explanation to a bunch of the members inside the club, and I want to give you a sneak peek. If I type into Google, what is a time signature? Check this out. This is hilarious. A time signature is an indication of rhythm following a clef, generally expressed as a fraction with a denominator defining the beat as a division of a semibreve and the numerator giving the number of beats in each bar.
I don't get it.
Took me a few reads to go, oh, is that what they mean?
Oh, I see.
If we have a look where it says that a time signature is an indication of rhythm following a clef. So let's just have a look at this. It's an indication of rhythm. Alrighty? It's indicating many things about the rhythm that is about to happen in the way that it sounds, in the way that it's played, but also in the sheet music. Now, I just realized over here, if we move away from this bit and go over here, if we have a look at a 3/4 time signature, it's not 3/4. If we have a look, so you can see here that it says the top number means 3 beats in every measure. And the bottom number is the quarter note or crotchet beats. I just want to make it really clear that you guys understand what's going on here. Do you remember what it said before? What the top number of a time signature is? It's how many beats within one bar, all right? So if we have a look at this time signature here, 6/8, we've got a different amount of beats per bar. And we've also got a different bottom number as well. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you're wondering, how is it that you would count 4/4? If you've got more than one bar, then it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. If it's 6, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, it depends on the tempo. And the tempo, if you've heard that word but you're not too sure what it means, it refers to the speed.
I feel the need for speed.
So let's talk about this bottom number. It's the type of beats, but it's also the value of the beat. What does that mean, the value? All right, so you may remember that there was something called a crotchet and also a quaver. Now, a crotchet is also known as what's called a quarter note, and a quaver is also what's known as an eighth note. These are 4 crotchets or 4 quarter notes that fit into a bar. That's why it's called 4/4. Let's just say that for some reason it was 4/8. Well, that means it would be 4 quavers or the eighth notes. Alrighty? So hopefully now you can understand that, oh, right, so if it's 6/8, well, it is 6 times this. Now, this bottom number of a time signature is something that took me years to appreciate and fully comprehend. If right now you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, yeah, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't.
Okay.
Let me just quickly show you what the difference between 4/4 and 4/8 sounds like. So there's 4 crotchets or 4 quarter notes in this bar of 4/4. So one crotchet in 4/8, it lasts for double the amount of time.
I don't think we need to see that again. All right, let's see that again.
So one crotchet in 4/8, it lasts for double the amount of time. So if we want to hear what 4 beats or 4 notes sound like, then we have to make them look like quavers or eighth notes because it's an eighth note. Here's what a bar of 4/4 will sound like just before hearing a bar of 4/8. All right, here we go.
I don't think we need to see that again. All right, let's see that again.
Now, time signatures are relative. I'm going to say that again. Time signatures are relative because, for those of you that understand the maths behind it, this here could have actually been a bar of 2/4. Look at that. No difference in the same passage of time. Let me just quickly play this. I believe it's going to sound the same. Yeah, that sounded the same.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
So whether it's 4/8 or whether it's 2/4, that didn't actually change anything. And so if I go back to this wonderful definition here, let's have a look. So remember that a time signature is an indication of rhythm. So there's an indicator that's telling me, okay, I've got 4 quarter notes, and then that's what's being played afterwards. Whereas here, I've got a different indicator, so that means what's going to happen afterwards will be different. Wait a minute. I thought the time signature was like the 2 numbers, like this. Well, yes, but if you see a C, that basically refers to this, because the most common out of all time signatures in the Western Hemisphere is 4/4. You know, you'll hear it a lot. You'll hear people count in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hit it type thing, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's the most common that you hear. Any type of song that you're probably hearing on the radio is probably in 4/4.
Probably.
What's a probably percentage? Maybe 90 something? That's pretty high. But not always, all right? And so we'll learn that as time goes on. Let's look at the song Zombie. If you can't remember what the chords are, it's E minor, C, G, and D. So let's start with just assuming that we're in 4/4, and there's a bunch of ways that we can play 4/4. If it's a bar each, all right, it means we've got a 4-bar phrase here. What I'll do is I'll start, and then I'll get you guys to just kind of play along, and we'll play in 4/4. You can play 1 strum per bar if you like. You can play 1 strum per beat. You could do a lot more as well if you like a down and an up, or jing 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 jing, whatever it is. But the most important thing is that we've got 4 beats for this bar, we've got 4 beats for this bar, 4 beats for that bar, 4 beats for this bar. And it honestly doesn't matter how many times that you're going to strum if you're changing your E minor to the C, and you're changing a C to the G, and your G to the D, and then back to the E minor for the right amount of beats. For a bunch of you, you might be thinking like, well, yeah, duh. That's music, right? But a count-in is ever so important at the start of the song because it's telling you the tempo, but what else is it giving you a heads up for? Time signature, exactly. So I'll count in, and then we'll go through these chords together. All right, we'll go through it a few times. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor. 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3, 4. E. 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to do one more and I'm going to show off. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, I was showing off with good intent there. You can believe me. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you that, like, holy crap, if that different amount of strumming is something that you've gone like, oh, well, there's no way I could do that. Well, with practice, you can do anything, especially if you keep the right amount of beats. What I've noticed sometimes with people with strumming, for instance, is that they get so focused on that strumming hand and they're going, oh, I'm doing this up and down thing and I'm doing some fancy stuff, that maybe their bar wasn't 4. It was like 5.5 or something, or it was 3.5, or, you know, like, it's very possible that that can happen. And so it's a bit more than just a rhythm thing, I think. It's really, really, really being conscious of your time signature. All right. So speaking of time signatures and being conscious of them, let's change it from 4. We'll do another number. 3, 4. Excellent. So we're going to do a waltz zombie. How lovely and traditional. It's 3 beats each. So I'm going to count in 1, 2, 3, and then we're in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Change. 1, 2, 3. Change. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. E minor. 2, 3. C. 2, 3. G. 2, 3. D. 2, 3. All right, so that was the warm-up. Let's do zombie, the waltz zombie. We'll go a bit faster. So here we go, counting in. 1, 2, 3. 3, C, 2, G, 2, 3, D, E minor, C, G, D. It's pretty full on, isn't it? Because, you know, you're used to zombie being a lot slower, more time to digest. Okay, I'm on the E minor. Good. I can rock out that for a bit. Oh, and now we're on C, you know, whereas that's hectic in comparison. Now, one thing that you can do with the rhythm of a time signature is play around with it. It's funny because the strong beat is always the first beat of the bar, but it doesn't mean that it necessarily needs the emphasis. So how I would do that as a guitarist is I would play just around the bass note area of the guitar and then give the rest of the strings a good whack. So it'd be like this. All of a sudden it sounds like a waltz, doesn't it? So I think one reason why that sort of works on the guitar and why it suits the waltz is because a drum beat would be kick, snare, snare, kick, snare, snare, that type of thing. And so, yeah, so what I just showed you, if you've never thought about that, if you've never done that, you've got some practice to do. Like, and I mean that in the most, you know, exciting way possible, hopefully. Like, oh cool. Like, you know, you can really get into exploring the sounds of the instrument with a rhythm time signature type of thing in the background in mind. And so this is, you know, I want to teach you guys about what the definitions are of things, but, you know, we have to make it applicable to what it is that we're doing. So 6/4 is only different to 6/8, mainly just in sort of how you feel it, but also just how you notate it. With music notation, it would be 6 lots of crotchets or quarter notes, as opposed to 6 lots of eighth notes or quavers. So here we go. Zombie in 6. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here we go. E minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, started showing off there just because time is of the essence. And if you think to yourself like, oh, well, I'd like to know more about what he was doing there, just remember that I was just mucking around with the rhythms, but I was keeping an eye and concentrating a lot on, wait, what number was I up to? All right, we'll go 2/4. 2/4 is very country. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. But we don't need to go that fast. We can go 1 2 1 2 1 2 like that. All right, ready? So here we go. I'll count in one lot of 1 2 and then we're in. 1 2 E minor, C 2 G D E minor, C G 2 D 2. One more time. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So that's what it sort of feels like. The most basic kind of demonstration and little, few exercises there of what it's like to play in different time signatures. Okay, so how was that? Clear as mud? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you've got a better understanding, a better taste for what time signatures are and what they're about. Now, I'm going to stop this video now. This is a part 1. I've got another part where what I do is I explain about how you can actually just listen to a song and be able to figure out time signatures all by yourself. Sounds good? I'll leave a link below for that video. Stay tuned. But maybe you don't want to wait. If that's the case, well, could I invite you inside the Crafty Guitar Club? Basically, if you just go to www.craftyguitarclub.com, you'll get all the information about what it involves. If you're someone that would feel like, yes, I would like some extra tuition, some extra guitar guidance, maybe hang out with a bunch of other people that are very like-minded, just like you. You can hang out live. You can check out a bunch of uploaded content inside the club. There's heaps there on offer. I'm there as well. So yeah, if that sounds good to you, I'll see you inside the Crafty Guitar Club. Now, there's a bunch of other music tips related videos here on the Crafty Music Tips YouTube channel. So go check out a bunch of those, whichever ones will be most helpful for you. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in another one really soon. Now, let me just leave you with this thought. You don't have to do everything right now. Just do the next thing. Cheers.